Hey all. If you're regulars on the channel, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, that's not a new guitar. He's had that one for a while. That's where you're wrong. I got this guitar today. I wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's a little bit of a rare guitar, but also how I got it, which might give you some help when you're shopping for a guitar. This is I think it's around 1984, a Schecter Saturn, made in, this is from the Dallas period. So US made in the early period when, now let's go through a little bit of the history of the Schecter, or at least this model. You might remember when Pete Townsend started in late '79, played one of these. His guitar tech got it at Manny's, and Schecter at the time was just building parts, not complete guitars. But some stores, I think it was the stores that started actually assembling them into guitars, and that's one of the reasons why that's got sort of a Fender headstock, because they were licensed to build parts. But I think the deal was they weren't licensed to actually sell complete guitars. But you know, the guitar shops like Manny's in New York had the parts, and they put them together and made guitars. One of them found its way to Pete. So then Pete commissioned a few more to be made. Some of them are Giffen, this guy who would build sort of replicas of them that weren't actually Schecters. And some were actually Schecters. I don't know how many real Schecters Pete had, though. I think most of the ones that you saw him playing were Giffens. But and he had a bunch of them. He had a gold top, he had a blue, and he had a sort of burst-looking one. He had one that was rosewood. The one of the things about Pete's is it had sort of the traditional telly layout, all in a row for the knobs and the switch. And then other ones, his gold top one had the layout like this. So some Schecters were like this, and some were straight, you know, layout. Hard to tell actually what year they are. But then they did the Dallas guitars for just a few years. Didn't make a whole lot of them, and then the company shut down. Then it moved over to Asia, and that's where a lot of the affordable ones that you find are. And in fact, my the black one that I've got, which is a Schecter PT. And strangely enough, Pete never actually endorsed these guitars. My other black one, that one is, I think, Korean made, and a fine. I can't recommend those. I think it's a Diamond series. I can't recommend those enough. Very affordable. I mean, affordable compared to a Les Paul Custom. Very affordable, and great guitars. But I've lusted after an American-made one for a long, long time. And about 5-6 years ago, you'd see them on eBay every once in a while for $600. And of course, I never pulled the trigger. But and now they've gone up in price a lot in the last few years. Now the thing about this one is mahogany body. This thing, I won't even try it with my surgery arm yet because I'm not supposed to lift heavy stuff. But that is, I just weighed it. It's close to 9 pounds. That's like Les Paul heavy, you know. So a mahogany body, single bound binding. Some of Pete's had double binding on the front and the back, but single for this. The neck, though, is gorgeous bird's eye. I don't know if you can see the bird's eye maple in the neck and around the back of it. Just absolutely stunning, stunningly beautiful, and it is fantastic. So these have the push-pull to tap. Very responsive to volume in terms of gain. So the pickups are how you want them. Bridge and then split. Middle. Now this is split. Now it's Just getting to know it, but man, and I really believe that is one of the most beautiful guitars ever made. The guitar looks like a tuxedo to me. But anyway, how did I get it? That's the other part of this. So I went online, and every once in a while, because I've been eyeing one of these for years and just waiting for the right guitar and the right price. But you don't find a ton of them for sale, so you kind of have to, if you find the right one at the right price, you gotta jump. So what a lot of times I'll just go on eBay or go on Reverb and look there, because for a guitar like that, you're not gonna find it in your local guitar shop. There just aren't many of them, around. So this time I just went on to Google, put in Schecter Saturn, because that was the name that they gave these for that Dallas period. They were called a Saturn. Then they were called a PT. I don't think they ever technically called it a Pete Townsend, but they call it PT. And then it's had different names, but Saturn is what this one is. So went on and looked for that on Google, and then just hit shopping up at the top. Now the advantage there is that it'll show you the Reverb listings, it'll show you some eBay listings, it'll show you any other listing, I guess, that there is, including individual stores, right? So this is another one of those guitars. I got it. This is the third one I've got from Japan. And how that works is, it was this. I ended up buying it from this store called Ishibashi Music, which is pretty well known. They get good reviews online, and pretty well known for selling guitars. And it's another one of those broker guitars. Okay, so when I was looking for a Saturn, I found this one. It was listed by a bunch of different sellers in Japan, brokers, with the same pictures, clearly the same guitar. You can even tell it's got a little nick there. In fact, every little nick in this thing is perfect. I love all the scratches in it. I love everything about it. But anyway, saw it for sale from a bunch of different people for a bunch of different prices, including Ishibashi Music, the store, right? So Ishibashi had it for sale directly from their store, and I'm just going to tell you, for $1,100, which compared to some of the other prices, I thought was a steal, because Ishibashi on Reverb, the same seller, they have a Reverb store. On Reverb, it was $2,200. It literally was half the price if you buy it directly from the store than if you bought it from Reverb. And on eBay, they had it for $2,185 or whatever, so $2,200 there. Other sellers had the same one for the exact same guitar, not the same model and a similar guitar. This very guitar had it for sale. Brokers had it for sale for $1,800, $1,900, $2,100, $1,750. Some of them were down as low as that. But the $1,100 was the lowest I could find. So I bought it directly from Ishibashi. So I checked as a test, right? As soon as I bought it, I went back on Google Shopping, punched in Schecter Saturn again. And for a few hours, it was still for sale by a bunch of different people. Then it stopped, right? And you could only find it on eBay, like Japanese eBay, American eBay. You could only find it on eBay. All the individual broker sellers had stopped listing it. And here's how I think that works. All the brokers are tapped into a single database of available guitars, in Japan. And when one of them sells it, including Ishibashi, it is taken out of the database because it's already sold, and they don't want other people to try to buy it. But evidently, and this is just my theory, eBay is not hooked up to that database. So this one I just checked earlier, a few hours ago. It's still listed on eBay from a few different sellers. One is $2,200, and the other one's like $1,700, $1,800. There might be a $1,650 in there somewhere. All for this same guitar on eBay. Now, if you go to try to buy it on eBay, you'll get an immediate notice that says your money's refunded. it's no longer for sale. But I don't think eBay is hooked up to that database. So when it gets sold by one of the people in that network of brokers, it comes off the database. But eBay must be a separate thing, so nobody would know it's sold until they try to buy it. So I had it because Ishibashi uses DHL Express for their shipping to the US. I did pay a customs fee, and that's a thing. When you buy from Japan, the only shipper that I've ever had to pay the customs fee on is DHL. I know the process is supposedly that customs will randomly take things out of the shipping pipeline and collect the fee on it, but it seems to me that DHL does it every time. So just something to bear in mind. Now, what did I pay on the customs fee? Fortunately, I think the customs fee on a guitar is like 8 3/4% or something like that. So on 1100, I expected to pay close to $100 or something. But I think what customs did was they looked up Schecter PT or something, or Schecter whatever, Schecter guitar, whatever it was listed on the the manifest, and they found the price $650 or something, because I paid like $61 or something for the customs fee. So I think they just used a price point that was cheaper than this one. So good for me. So all total with shipping and the customs fee, I think it was like, I don't know, $13.50 or something. So if I had bought the 2200 one on eBay or Reverb, the same guitar, the percentages would have been higher. So I did. I'm telling myself I got it at half price. But it is just absolutely. I've lost it after a US made one since 1982. Actually, before that, before the Who's 82 tour, because you'd see in magazines, and I had a poster of Pete playing it on the 79 tour. Had a big poster of him playing one of these, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. It's a stunning guitar, and it sounds just fantastic. Interestingly, one way to know, I think they only did these on the American guitars. They got 2 strap buttons, and the reason is so you could stand it up and lean it against your amp, and it's not going to fall sideways. It's actually a great idea. But I think on the the Asians ones, they just have the typical 1 strap button. Another thing is the bird's eye maple. Not all of the American ones have the really nice maple on the neck, and then you can get them with a rosewood fretboard. But I don't know if the camera's picking it all up. But man, look at that! Oh yeah. It's just fantastic. So looking to get some Who tones out of this, and the other one will probably make a quiet exit now that I got this one. I'll get rid of that Korean made one. So we're going to try to work with this one over the next few days and get to know it. Good luck.